Before we get started in this video, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice, all right? I want you to take your wallet. I want you to give that wallet to somebody that you trust. And I want you to tell them, under no circumstances are you to give me back this wallet today. Because you're going to want to sleep on this before you buy anything, because there is a lot of stuff on Stadia that is on sale right now. What are you talking about, Bill? I'm talking about the This Week in Stadia post, the blog post that went up earlier today over at community.stadia.com. Every week on Tuesdays, they post that stuff in addition to finding out our December Pro games, of which there are quite a few. We also have some insane, really good deals. So, pause the video, give somebody your wallet, come back, watch the video, and then inevitably go and beg for your wallet back, because there's so many games that are on sale right now. There's some fantastic deals. You're not going to want to miss out on them. You're going to be spending money that you don't want to spend right now, and you're going to be pretty happy about it. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that I host a podcast called Stadia Cast every single Sunday at 10 a.m. Myself and my co-host, we talk about all of the Stadia news live right here, 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure that you click on all of the YouTube buttons down below so that you can get notified as when we go live. You can come hang out with us, or you can watch it after the fact. Let's get started and talk about the pro games that we've got coming. When Stadia was first unveiled, they said, well, actually not when it was first unveiled, when Stadia was initially launching, they said, here's Stadia Pro. Along with Stadia Pro, you'll get I don't think they said on average. They said something along the lines of a game a month or so. It's like they were very non-committal about when these games would be coming out, like the cadence and what games, or like how many games we would get. And so many of us, myself included, assumed that meant that some months we would get a game included with Stadia Pro, and some months we wouldn't. Well, that's turned out to be nonsense. The fewest number of games that we've ever gotten on Stadia Pro has been 2. And for the last few months, it's been like 5 or 6 every single month. And the month of December is going to be no different. We're going to get 6 games in December. On December 1st, you're going to be able to claim the following games. Monster Jam Steel Titans. I've never heard of this. But honestly, when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Bigfoot. Not Bigfoot like Sasquatch, but Bigfoot, the monster truck. I remember my brothers and I would play Bigfoot on the NES, and you had to drive up hills or whatever. That was really cool. We loved monster trucks. Monster trucks were so cool. And there were always video games for monster trucks, but that whole genre seems to have disappeared. And so I'm kind of interested in this Monster Jam. Very interested. I'm definitely going to check this out. Look for a video on the channel when we can play this on December 1st. Here's what they have to say about it. Big trucks smashing things. Monster Jam Steel Titans brings you all the car-crushing off-road action your heart desires. We also have Secret Neighbor, 6 Friends, 1 Fraud. The tense atmospheric horror of Hello Neighbor gets bigger in this multiplayer game of suspicion and survival. Then there's Everspace, which has always kind of lingered in my wish list, but I've never pulled the trigger on, and now I'm not going to have to. It's just going to be a Stadia Pro game for me, which is awesome. Space combat action meets a roguelike soul, fly, die, fly again, and triumph. I have to say that I love the variety of games that we have here. So fantastic. Into the Breach is a tactics game. Hitman 2, we've got a stealth game. Kine is this weird rhythm puzzle game. It's really weird looking. When Stadia first came out, this is one of the, I don't think, maybe launch games, or maybe soon after launch, Kine was on Stadia, but I never ended up picking it up. But I always thought that it looked really cool. And now, again, I don't have to buy it because it's going to be a Stadia Pro game. I have to say, Stadia Pro continues to improve over and over. Every single month, Stadia Pro absolutely pays for itself and then some. And then there is, no, I think that's all of them. So Into the Breach, Hitman 2, Kine, Monster Jam, Steel Titans, Everspace, and Secret Neighbor. 6 games for Stadia Pro. What an absolute deal. Speaking of Stadia Pro, we have a couple of games that are no longer going to be part of Stadia Pro. Now, if you're new to Stadia, let me explain what that means. If you are a Stadia Pro member and you claim a game, then you have access to that game permanently as long as you are subscribed to Stadia Pro. Eventually, the games no longer are part of Pro, but what that means is they're no longer claimable by new people, but you still have access to them. I personally think that this is a much better model in the long run than something like Game Pass. I think Game Pass is a really, really good deal, but eventually those games leave Game Pass and I don't have them anymore, or I have to buy them in order to continue to have them after the fact. And most of the time I would be done with those games, but if I'm not, then I'm not too happy about it. So I think that this is really the better model. In the short term, it might not feel like it, but in the long term, I think it absolutely is the better model. So what are the games that are leaving on November 30th? You will no longer be able to claim these games after November 30th. That would be Super Hot, the most innovative shooter I have played in years. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, I guess I would describe that as Mortal Kombat, but without the gore and blood. Little Nightmares, which is a spooky little game. Hello Neighbor, another spooky game, but kind of like a family-friendly spooky game. And then Super Bomberman R Online, which is Bomberman Battle Royale. It's really, really good. If you don't have these games yet, and you want to get these games along with the other pro games that I mentioned before and all the other pro games, I think if you signed up for pro like right now, you would get 35 games. I could be wrong about that number. But if you want to sign up for pro right now, you can try it free for a month. If you've never done it before, there's a link in the description right down below. Let's talk about the deals. There's a couple of really good deals. A couple. That's an understatement and a half. There's a lot of really good deals happening this week. And why? Well, it's Black Friday. That's why. There's a whole bunch. I mean, there's deals all over the gaming space. But these are some fantastic deals, especially if you're a Stadia Pro member, but also if you're not. So let's take a look at these deals. I'm going to start off with the one that everybody is hyped for. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That game is coming to Stadia like today. It was released today. I'm recording this on the 24th of November. That game was released today, and it is coming to Stadia at a discount of 60% off. You can pick that game up for $24 right now. That is an absolute steal. As soon as I'm done recording, I'm probably going to buy the game. So that I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to play Jedi Fallen Order. Expect some Jedi Fallen Order first look or something in the near future right here on this channel. So that's like the big gun for all the deals, but there are tons of deals that are going on. Now, I am not going to read all of these deals to you. I will talk about the ones that I think are either A, ridiculously awesome games, or B, incredibly good deals. Okay, let's start with Borderlands 3. That game is an amazing first-person shooter. It's a looter shooter. You get to shoot guns that shoot guns. It's really awesome. And Borderlands 3 is $20. It's a steal. That game is really fantastic. Doom. This is not Doom like the old PC game that came out. I think it was 1992. I think Doom came out. I think so. That's not that Doom. This is Doom 2016, the one that kind of rebooted the franchise, the prequel, I guess, to Doom Eternal. That game is $6. Absolutely buy that game. It is an amazing game. Until Doom Eternal came out, This was my number one favorite single player first person shooter. All right. Doom 2016 is awesome. So pick that up for $6 and then pick up Doom Eternal for $20. So for $26, you can have both of the new Doom games, play them Doom and then Doom Eternal. Guaranteed you're going to have some fun. If you like a first person shooter, they are really, really good versions of this. Marvel's Avengers. I have not played this game. I know lots of people really like this game. I know some people kind of panned it, but for $30, I think it's a really good deal. Like, that's 50% off. PGA Tour 2K21. Awesome golf game. Bad menus. It has really bad menus, but it's a really, really fun golf game. I've got dozens of hours in that game. I've had so much fun playing it. We have a semi-active society, I think it's called. Yeah, society. If you want more information about, playing with other Stadia fans, check out the link in the description down below. And we have a channel for PGA Tour, so people are putting courses together and we're playing against each other quite often. So make sure that you check that out. The Division, that game is $34.99 for the digital deluxe version. So that like comes with a bunch of stuff. I think that's a good deal. The Division 2. I've often said Division 2 is the best port on Stadia. It feels incredibly smooth. It looks really, really good. I think maybe Doom Eternal has unseated that as far as like the best port, but the Division 2 Standard Edition is $13. That game is really fun. You're going to have fun with it. Elder Scrolls Online. You've heard me talk about Elder Scrolls Online a million times. If you haven't, join the Discord link down below, and we have a channel for ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. Very, very active guild, constantly doing raids and dungeons and stuff like that. You're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to have a lot of cool people to play with. So make sure that you join that Discord. You can pick that up for $20. That's awesome. Fantastic game. Trials Rising is a side-scrolling motorcycle trick game. It's $9. It's really fun. I don't have a ton of time into it. It's not generally my kind of game, but for what it is, I really liked it. And if you're really into that kind of game, you're probably going to go nuts for it. I will say that the difficulty of that game is pretty high. It's got a pretty steep learning curve. I would say it has a very high skill ceiling, if that makes sense. Those are all just deals for everybody. Let's take a look at the deals that are just for pro members. I'm going to talk about 4 of them real quick. Division 2, Warlords of New York. If you already have Division 2, you can pick up the Warlords of New York expansion for $9. I just bought that, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. So I'm kind of regretting that, but I'm okay with it. Not a big deal. Monopoly, I'm going to highlight that. And a lot of people know I'm not a fan of Monopoly as a board game. As a video game, this version's not that bad. It's actually pretty fun. I've played it with my family. I've played it with people online. Monopoly as a video game, and there's going to be people who are trolling me because of this. It's pretty good. It's not a disaster, and mostly because it's just so relaxed. Like it's not very high stakes or anything. Metro Exodus is a very cool stealth style game that's like post-apocalyptic in Russia. Awesome voice acting, really good graphics. I'm a big fan of that game. $16, you're going to have fun with it. And then finally, Watch Dogs Legion is brand new. Like that game just came out and it's $40. Like that's a great deal. So, I mean, look, I'm going to leave a link to this blog post down in the description down below so you can look at all of the games that are on there. Here's what I'm asking. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below which pro game. I've got 2 questions here, right? So number 1, which pro game are you most excited for? And number 2, which of these deals, I want you to only pick one. Which of these deals do you think is the one that nobody should sleep on? All right, let me know those 2 things in the comment section down below. Don't forget to join our Discord channel, link in the description down below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.